thoughts from pay plans order taking, and I know we've all kind of transitioned to that order taking philosophy, at least with the pandemic. Just going to go through a quick, obviously, lead in, and we're going to go over more on sort of where sales are going as we move into 2025 sooner rather than later. Here we go.
Name's Tony Lund. I'm the general manager of Fred Bean's Kia and Landmark. I just wanted to take a minute to talk about Larry Felman and Career Changers USA. Larry and I have been working together for about the last 12 years now, and anything I've ever needed as far as recruiting, training, Larry has been right there. Larry's got me salespeople, he's got me managers, he's got me technicians even through the toughest times in the industry, and he is just the kind of guy who's going to tell you exactly what's on his mind. He's going to tell you exactly what he thinks. But Larry also has the expertise to back it up. When he was in the dealership world, he was a top performer, and that's really important to my staff, especially as it pertains to training. A lot of people can come in and teach out of a textbook, but Larry has a real-world experience dealing with customers, dealing with situations in dealerships that we go through on a daily basis and try to train on. But Larry's been through it, so he can really empathize with the people and tell you what's worked for him and maybe what way not to go. Larry is just always at a 10. I mean, his energy level is always up there. And I think people, they just love that and they feed off of it. He's not faking it. He is genuinely excited to come in and help you. He's excited to come in and help grow your business. And he's one of those people who just really enjoys seeing dealers succeed and have a lot of fun at the same time.
All right. Life is about connection. Having a support system to lean on. And roads to endless possibility. At every turn, guiding the way, we are building the connections that move you.
So what would your dealership feel like if your entire sales staff was literally on fire, your sales and service staff? They were nonstop all over social media, completely dominating your marketplace. They could do it in 30 days or less and then continue their education to do it for an entire 6 months or a year. You literally would completely take over the entire marketplace and no one would be able to compete with you. And that's what we can do for you. So when you're walking around your community, whether you're at local restaurants or you're going to the gym, you don't want to be bothered? Fine, you won't be bothered. But a lot of people will walk up to you and say, oh my God, I love your social media. Your staff is amazing. We love what you're doing in the community. We want to come buy a car from you. We want to get an oil change at your dealership. Your community is absolutely going to love you. And it doesn't matter what platform you're on. You could be on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all social media platforms. You will literally be all over the place. And not only will you have ads running, but your own staff is going to be promoting your brand and promoting themselves within the dealership and within the business. So it's like running an ad times 100-fold because your entire staff is participating in the process. I've traveled all over North America. I've trained Toyota. I've trained Nissan. I've been to driving sales. I've been to Women in Auto. I get hired as a speaker for conferences at universities all over the country. And I can help change the trajectory of your dealership right now.
Good morning and welcome. And today we have not only one of our biggest fans and sponsors, someone who's really an expert in this sales side of the business. So Larry, I know you do all kinds of things, but maybe you could tell people who aren't familiar with the famous Larry Felman what you do, how you do it, and why sales is so important for every business, including the car business.
No problem, Ian, and thank you for saying famous rather than infamous. That puts a whole new slant on what I do. I'm a former salesman, former dealer, and I got by accident into recruiting and training 12 years ago, and now I'm all over the country. The recruiting component is simple. I can find any position in a dealership. I can find techs, body shop personnel, salespeople, managers, controllers, title clerks. And as far as training, hey, you can tell them better than I can, Ian. I'm able to hold people's attention for 3-4 hours. They're not distracted. I'm having fun. I try to be authentic. That's basically it in a nutshell, my buddy. Career Changers USA.
Thanks very much. So obviously we've been hearing a lot about AI lately. We've been hearing a lot about how difficult it is to sell things today. Actually, I saw a post today from a vendor who says it's so hard to sell car dealers because they're some of the best salespeople out there. But when we look at, I guess, adapting to the new future, which is really going to be incorporating new technology, whether it be AI or other, how do you think salespeople can adapt to that and still dominate moving forward with all this change? What do you think?
Well, they say you should never answer a question with a question. But if you remember, when you started to recommend me to people, one of the things you always said was, you got to check this guy out. He actually answers his phone. Remember that, Ian?
Oh, yeah, I remember. Absolutely.
I think if we dial into being human, embrace the AI, embrace every tool we have, but focus more on being a human being, making eye contact, actually listening to people, I think will make all the difference in the world. Because we're in a situation now where everybody is a little concerned about automation, AI, a little put off by it. Everybody is yearning for a human touch. So I think we just embrace what we have and focus more on being attentive, showing that we actually care, and just being a human being. And I know that sounds kind of simplistic, but hey, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. I think that now more than ever, it's vital.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at, and there was an interesting video. It was a salesperson from a different industry, but he was talking about, how he gets such great response rates, and in the annals of non-customized emails and massive amounts of just outreach for no apparent reason, or a missing of outreach, or just not that personal touch. I think that's definitely a recipe for disaster, even if you have some of the best salespeople out there. And it's kind of funny because not only do I find the salespeople I talk to in different industries every day, maybe not as prepared as they could be, but also really just not understand the basics. It's not to say that they aren't trying, and I'm not faulting salespeople for picking up a telephone or using video or using email or text messages. But, as you look at more competition, shrinking margins, as we talked about a couple of years ago, and